Empower, educate, and encourage your women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't passing no judgment. Don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come on, don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into your late talk show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more we've been isolated and cast aside. I want you to come up and down. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same thing. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come off the talk and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your lane talk show with Coach Trish Hannah. Welcome everyone to Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hannah. I'm your girl Trish Hannah here, and just welcoming you on this beautiful Sunday. I know on my way heading here there was a little bit of raindrops, but don't worry about that. That is just to wet the earth so that we can have more fruits and more vegetables to eat. That's how I look at it. Before I start the show, can I get everyone to please share and like the page for me? Share the page, because right now we're going to try to help those who are looking for a job, those who are in the process of hiring, and for those who are just in the job and trying to think whether or not they belong there. All right. Your Lane Talk Show was created to empower, educate, and encourage women of all ages. And this entire month, we will be focusing on self development. So, once again, for those who need help who are unemployed, the employed, and the employers, I'm asking you to tune in today. We have in studio three magnificent HR managers in their own rights, of course, to help us get to where we need to be in this season. Listen, no slapping up. Y'all don't have no excuse. Last week, we had a show where we had Dr. Melissa Hall come in, and she was talking about how to set our goals, how to focus on our dreams, how to reignite the dreams we once had. And by now, y'all should be just y'all should be just on that train, getting ready to go. And so, of course, now we using that energy and we're doing some more stuff to make sure that you are on track and doing what you're doing in your lane. Today's show, Your Lane, episode 20, Thriving in the Workplace, is brought to you by Airborne Freight and Cargo Services, John's Shoe Store and Accessories, Family Medicine Center, Calico Bay, where the cool kids shop, and Astute Talent Management. Woohoo! My predictions of emotions today for this episode are 95% serious aha moments, 5% laughter, because these three that are here, don't mind them and their nice, beautiful faces and handsome faces. They funny, y'all. They had me laughing from the time they came, from the time I came, because I met them here today. That's how excited they were to be on today's show. And we're going to have fun today. But the energy in here is real. And 0% teardrops today, because this ain't no sad show. Ain't nobody crying for nothing unless y'all crying because y'all won't come out your job and go somewhere else. But that's another story. You can visit us on Your Lane, on Facebook rather, on Your Lane Life Coaching's page, or Star 106 FM's page. We're actually on live, y'all, so you can see the handsome and beautiful faces if you want to. Or you can listen to us on channel 976 on cable. You can view the past shows on YouTube. Just look up Coach Trish Hannah. From there, you will view all of our rebroadcasts from the very first one to the last one. And please like and subscribe. I'm inviting my audience to feel free to call in at any time throughout the show. The number to call is 328-8164. And I want you to write that number down because we have 2 giveaways today. And very, very interesting giveaways, especially for those who need help with employment or just need some little brushing up on how to get that dream job. So we have in us once again in studio Mrs. Tameka Forbes, we have Mrs. Lacretia Johnson, and we have Mr. Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad, what your last name is again?
Thompson.
Thompson. Jesus be your glasses as I'm looking at my phone to read what I have to do today. Now, with Tameka Forbes, she is the VP of Talent Acquisition, correct? And
Correct.
management at one of our leading hotels over, and I'm not going to say where because y'all know it's only ain't that much leading hotels here. She's also an attorney, right?
I am.
Yeah, she's also an attorney. Man, I got smart people in the building today. Oh my gosh, Lacretia Johnson is a professional HR consultant and proprietor of Four Winds Consultancy, and Mr. Rashad Thompson is the CEO of Astute Talent Management, a human resource and talent management consulting firm. Now, and like I said before, I need you to tune in because you're going to have a chance to win an interview of a readiness session with Ahmad Rashad Thompson. If y'all don't want to call in and get it, I am going to ask for that interview myself. Okay. I hope my boss ain't listening to me. Courtesy of Astute Talent Management. Now, before I get to start with these questions, they gave me their bios. And as I was playing around and kidding around with them before the show, I said, Lord, this extensive, eh? Tameka been all around the world. I'm serious. If I think we have been blessed with the best HR managers here to talk about what we're going to talk about today because they're all been exposed. They've been doing this for years. They have obviously professional certifications for all of this, and they're ready to teach and help and educate as best as they can. So even though, yes, I did get the bios, but I want you guys to speak for yourself. We ain't got to go back. We're gonna talk about what is present, what you're doing now. So we're gonna start with Tameka. Tameka, welcome to Your Lane Talk Show.
Thank you very much. So Tameka Forbes, I have been in HR for 13 years. Started out as a criminal prosecutor in the AG's office, and then went to Bank of the Bahamas for about 8 years and decided to expand my knowledge and move into an area which did have some law in it, which was as the Vice President of Labor Relations for Atlantis Paradise Island. And then after 7 years of that, I decided to try on something new and different, which was talent acquisition and management. I have a passion for developing and making sure that at the end of the day, we prepare our workforce for the future.
Absolutely.
And definitely, I want to leave behind a legacy that at the end of the day, people can look back and say, I know that Ms. Forbes helped me to get where I am. And that takes a lot of encouragement, but also we have to pour into people. Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. You see? Okay. We have next Doctor.
That's
I speak in
Receive
I am
it.
speaking
And it will be received. That's right.
Dr. Ahmad Thompson.
Yes, I received that, Trish. Thank you so much for that prophetic utterance. I like Tameka. Is this good? I like Tameka believe that we have a responsibility in our roles to pour into the future, to determine what we're missing and fill that gap with what we do every day. I think a lot of people have misconstrued what HR professionals are supposed to do in this country or in the field in general. And I believe it's my responsibility to, in any way that I can, influence the workforce as best that I can.
Right.
Ensure that people have the skills they need to be ready for the next level of anything, whatever that's going to look like or sound like. I always say all the time that I believe that my purpose in life is to help you to become a better version of you in whatever way that takes shape. And so I just take it very seriously, the honor and the privilege it is to influence somebody else's life, whether that's in a big way or in a small way. So it's a blessing to be here and to be able to inspire, if that's possible, your audience today. So thank you very much for having me.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Lacretia.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lacretia Johnson, and I've been in the HR field for approximately 5 to 6 years. And interesting enough, I've actually had a computer background. And when I entered the workforce, I discovered a love for HR. And HR is definitely a field that you have to be very passionate about. It's not something you just jump into. And due to the personality that I have and the passion that I have to assist people, and also what I've personally experienced from HR departments, I wanted to be the change I saw that I wanted to see happen, and as Amada and Tameka said, we feel that we have a responsibility to help people to be better. HR is not about just enforcing policies, pushing paper. It's more than that. We really want to inspire people to be the best that they can be, and you definitely have to be called to do this. Just like teachers and doctors have to be called to do those professions, HR, you have to be called to this, and we are definitely called to do this and to impact those around us.
I love it. I love it. Y'all need to wear capes. I'm so serious. So listen to me. I want to be a little nosy. Lucretia said something just now. She said some things that she experienced or encountered during, I don't know, it's while she was at the work, in the work field, or as an HR manager, some things that she saw where she wants to change. Krish, can you elaborate on that for me?
Sure. When I first entered the workforce after college, one of the things that I enjoyed was a lack of confidentiality, and it was also the lack of passion or compassion for employees. It was almost like an employee was just looked at as a number instead of a person, and so I wanted to change that, because like I said, HR should be more than that. HR should be a safe place, and that's still one of the main things that I push for in any environment that I go to be a safe place for my employees and to be the backbone for management.
I love it. I love it. So one of the questions I have here is when HR is looking for the right fit for a particular opening, I assume the first thing that they see is the resume, right? Or in some cases, you'll see just the form. When this comes to any of you, so we're going to ask Tameka first because I know, yeah. When the form or the resume comes to you, what are some of the things that pops out to you, first of all, and then what are some of the things you'd be like, no, honey, not today, next?
I think the way that a resume, in terms of its formatting, etc., how it looks, is the first thing that if it's not in the right format, if it's not basically outlining those skills at the top, and if it's too long, then it's a problem.
Wow.
So formatting is very important, and especially for young people coming out of high school, and even a lot of our people who are changing their careers currently. You have to make sure that your resume is professional in terms of how it looks, and also highlighting those skills that at the moment that any employer looks at it, it's like, hey, this person has the skills that I need. And any accomplishments, and your history is important. What have you done? Why should I hire you? And not only why should I hire you, but why are you the right person for this job?
Right.
So for me, it's how it looks, but also how it reads. And what I do find is that those that have templates that are a little different, I tend to pick up and I'm like, oh, this is different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is very interesting.
So hold on, let me cut you off there. Now, when you say templates that are a little different, now because people could run out too, they like the little flowers and
No.
decorations. So how does a good looking, recognizable, eye-catching resume look?
As simple as if you've been to college, having a icon of college in terms of your contact details, a telephone or email. So it's those little icons that sort, and the color, and if somebody includes a picture, I love it. It's really, really nice. But I think and there's so many formats available out there. If you go out there and you look online, there are various formats that you can utilize. And I think as you start to climb the ladder of your success, it changes. High school drops off, college may remain, but also any executive, when if you're looking for an executive position, you're looking for what have you succeeded in the time that you were where you were.
Right.
And I find that a lot of people don't do that. If you had goals, if you had something that you change, if you were a change agent in your organization, I want to see that, because that tells me that, hey, you could make a change when you get here. Right. So that's how I see it. I think it has a lot to do with making sure that resume is when someone picks it up, it's like, hey, I'm interested in this person even before I meet them.
Right.
And that's very, very important.
Very important.
So what about you, Amar?
Sure. For me, the resume that I'm looking at is one that will catch my eye. There's a couple of things to make a mention I want to reiterate or expound on a bit. She mentioned she likes resumes that have a photo. Ladies and gentlemen, the photo that Tameka is talking about is not the selfie with you and your girls or you and your brethren from through the corner or in the club. This photo is not the
Qualify
photo
it,
with
Ahmad.
your cleavage exposed or your
Yes.
children in the background.
Yep.
This is a very professional photo
Qualify
that
it.
you didn't have to go to a professional photographer to take. Not every single phone, but most phones today have the ability to take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand right in front of your plain wall at your home and take a nice shoulder level and above photo to attach to your resume.
Mhm.
Yes.
One other thing that Tameka mentioned was she said the word professional. The resume can be visually appealing, but can still be very professional.
Mm-hmm.
So your email address can be pookydam137
Oh, no.
at gmail.com. It can. I've seen it. Today is Sunday,
Yes.
so I will not say what I saw on this resume before.
Right.
But it referenced a body part.
Wow.
Why would you do that on a professional resume looking for someone to hire you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? The resume should not belong to Tameka's point unless you are like, okay, there's a resume and then there's a CV.
Yes.
Mhm.
A CV has the right to be extensive. You can talk
Mhm.
about all the projects you've completed,
Right.
the awards you've won, that sort of thing. But your resume should tell a very clear picture as to what you're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell my clients, don't focus so much on what you have done. That's your job history.
Mhm.
But your skills should show Tameka, Ahmad, Lacretia, what you can do for their organization.
Mm-hmm.
Lacretia, as a consultant, is looking for someone to fill in a particular role at Trisha's coaching company. She doesn't need to see extensively what you have done. She needs to understand what you can do today,
Mm-hmm.
what you're able to do for the next 10 years or 1 year. And so when I pick up a resume or not, because I judge the book by its cover,
Right.
I'm going to be very
That's
clear
it.
about that.
Yeah.
And don't hold me accountable to that, but hold me accountable to it, but don't judge me for it because
Right.
I can't be faulted for what what you've given me to judge.
Right.
Now, what we shouldn't do as HR professionals is judge the entire book by just the cover.
Of course.
But the cover I'm looking at, I'm going to judge, ma'am or sir, because this is what you presented to me. And so if you presented this thing that's either unprofessional, matted, tarted, not appealing, I'm going to judge you by this.
Wow.
Now, some people, depending on the role, may say, you know what? My spirit take to this paper. I don't know what it is.
About this paper.
Something about
Yeah.
this resonates with me. Let me call this person. But typically, a person working in Tameka's or any of our positions where the thing is extensive, there's a lot of people to get through. Darling, I don't have time to focus on a resume that will not present to me that this is an outright somebody I should pursue.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be professional 100%. It should be visually appealing. Any software, you could go to Google right now
Mm-hmm.
and type in resume template, and I guarantee you about 1 million options are going to show up. You choose, it's on Word. If you type in the word resume, the little box on the side comes up. Are you typing a resume? And Microsoft Word will do the rest for you.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time. Go to your cousin, go to your auntie, go to your neighbor who has the access to these things. If you don't already have it yourself, and create your resume. Please get a professional email. It's very easy to do.
Oh.
Your name is professional enough.
Mhm.
Ahmad.thompson@gmail.com. That's
Mhm.
all you need. The numbers in the back of it, the where you live and where you from, and look, man,
No.
what they call you to the corner, release that.
Yes.
Move on from that and make it happen. I'll pass it on to Lacretia to share her views.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Because like Ahmad said, we go based on what you present us. And when you have thousands sometimes applicants that apply for one position, you don't have the time, so you really choose the best, right? And another thing that I want to point out that I see that's an eyesore when I'm actually looking through emails, when people forward emails that they previously forward to other jobs.
Oh no.
That shows laziness.
Mm.
That's very, very lazy. And it shows that you just want a job, basically,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so you have to be very careful with how you present yourself, because if you're showing these things now, we haven't even interviewed you as yet. All right. You're showing this now. And also be very careful with being attentive to the instructions on what
They require.
they require,
Mhm.
how to
Right.
apply,
Right.
how
Yes.
to apply.
Right.
If they say, if you're required to bring it in or to send an email, if there's a certain subject line it should be, pay attention to what the instructions are,
Mm-hmm.
and also be polite to even address the person. Some
By
people,
name.
some
Who
people,
told you to make concern?
some people don't say anything. I've had people that just said job,
Mm-hmm.
just say job, you know. So we're not psychics, or try to read minds. If there are multiple job postings, what job are you applying for? And I'm not going to always take the opportunity to reply and ask you what it is. So, you have to be very, very mindful on how you present yourself before we even meet you, because that speaks volumes.
Let me ask y'all a question. Now, this ain't gotta be for y'all. I mean, maybe other people don't do it. I know some parts in America they do it. Do you all judge persons based on their social media accounts?
I was going to raise something because when Lucretia mentioned, in terms of who you send it to and how you send it, in some instances, a lot of companies are utilizing WhatsApp, etc. And I can tell you that I've had an instance where someone sent me their resume via WhatsApp, and I'm like, oh no, because here it is. It's, of course, you have a photo, right? And if you've got a gun and 5 bullets around it, and it gives you a certain I'm telling you, and I'm finding that especially with our younger team members, our younger applicants, social media sometimes can affect your ability to get hired. Because if just like Ahmad said a few moments ago, if your poogie got shot up at automatically your email address alone could cause you to lose out on a position. But imagine sending something via WhatsApp, and even in your messaging on your WhatsApp page, I do X, Y, and Z. Well, what you've done is you've influenced me, based on how you're responding. And I think when you think of the whole person, now Facebook is also important, because at times, employers do go on and say, let me check this person out beyond this point. So I think this whole age of social media and how it's increased has a huge impact on the workforce, and even in terms of the recruitment process, it's different. Very different.
If I can add to this, Trish, I feel like I'm addicted to LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
And I cannot come across someone's name, even in conversation, and not look their profile up, just because it's just a natural part of my daily life now. If I come across someone that I need to know more about or want to learn more about, or just Tameka mentioned a name, and it's let me go see if I can see her on LinkedIn. And if I'm looking at what you presented to the world. I'm not digging for what you did not put out there, right? And people always use the argument, my social media is my social media. You are absolutely correct, ma'am. But what you've put out to the world, or sir, what you put out to the world, you cannot take back, especially when it's on social media, because there's this age of screenshotting and video recording and things going viral. And you've put out there a reputation. Right? You've solidified, Tameka used the word influence. You've influenced the person looking at your social media profile in a particular way. And if what you stand for is not what you've presented on social media, then you have an issue. Because if most times when somebody posts, and some people have this disclaimer, what I post is not my story. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a moment. Because you've clearly, especially if you continue to post the same types of things,
over and
whether
over.
it's for comedic purposes, are you a comedian? Then that may be appropriate. But if you are a person in business or in whatever you're doing, and you realize that the things that this person has continued to post is a reflection of them, the institution looking to hire someone is trying to see, you use the word in the beginning of our conversation, are you a good fit? And culturally, what you believe and what you stand for, what your values are, may not be a good fit for this organization. You may have the skill set, but I am prepared to teach somebody what they can learn, as opposed to teach somebody how to behave. There's a difference. And I will invest in the person that needs to understand 1 times 1 versus the person that understands there's a difference between what you share with the world and what you keep as private, because that's what you believe in, and I can't change that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Hold on, stop right there. I need you all who are on Facebook right now to share the page. Please share the page, because we had a whole new set of graduates that came out, and they need to have this information. And then we have some persons who've been around for a long
time. They're not from about a long time.
Them at hotmail.com still exists.
Yes, they do.
Okay?
But you know something, Trish? What I found, and a lot of schools now are taking very seriously how they release their students to the job market.
Yes.
And I'm sure we've all been on invited to school campuses to come in and show them how to interview or how to prepare a resume. My concern is the persons that have been out of school for years and years that are still not adapting to what the world is needing now. Everything is digital. Everything. If I can't do it on my phone, Trish, I ain't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line. If I can apply for your job, I saw an application the other day in the newspaper. Please bring the actual. You have to come in and bring the application. Darling, if I was on my last dollar and I had to catch ride, I was not doing it. Why? Tameka said somebody sent a resume on WhatsApp. That's the age we're in.
It is.
Right? And organizations are making themselves more accessible through social media, through these digital means.
Mm-hmm.
But the point here is, if you're going to use a digital source to present yourself, be careful of what you've put the footprint you've left, because that is not erasable.
Right.
You can't take that back, and you can't wait till you get in front of me, because what if you never do to
Yeah.
prove it wrong?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's very important that you understand that yes, your social media is yours. Yes, it's your WhatsApp. Yes, it's your phone. But my dear, my friend, what you've put out there, I can't be held accountable for.
You're representing the company.
Correct.
Representing
Well, first of all,
course,
yourself.
of course.
You're representing yourself.
You know?
Of course.
And then, of course, the company that you will be,
Applying for.
Applying for. So I can understand that. You have to be very careful about what you present to the world. And your mommy always tell you that. Your Grammy
That's
always
right.
tell you
That's
what
right.
put
What
out
you get there, you
before
can't
get
bring back.
That's an age-old tale.
Mhm.
That's something new.
We're gonna take a short break. I love it. I love it here in La La La, where my HR managers are doing their thing. I hope you all are taking notes. I have a lot. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to read some of the comments. One says the values you hold will show in the post you unfold.
That's
Watch
right.
your digital footprint. I love it.
Love it.
All right, so we're gonna take a break real quick, and when we get back, we're gonna ask some more questions.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it here. We're still live, okay? So, to my Facebook audience, thank you so much for tuning in to us today. If you have any questions, I'm unable to see most of them, I guess, when the questions pop up. DJ Beats. Tony isn't in today, y'all. Tony in here for me to just tease him and stuff. Ah. So we have Beats in the building today. If you notice, I'm sure y'all know the difference. I think Beats been setting up and doing some little technical things because Tony ain't gonna do it. But Beats been holding it down for me. Thank you so much, Beats. So let me see if I can read some of these comments. God, be your glasses. Lacretia is simply amazing.
Yes.
Professional photos are required. Pookie and them. Yes, honey. Pookie and them at hotmail.com. Be professional, people. It takes 2 seconds to create a professional email. That is correct. I can't scroll down. Sorry, guys. This is where I'm at. Make the resume visually appealing.
Yes.
That is correct. Yes, I totally agree, ma'am. I'm not taking what that comment was for. Yeah, I already read that one. Great show, fun as always. Thank you so much. So we're gonna read through some of them as we go by. These wonderful ladies and this gentleman are doing such an awesome job. And so if you just tuning in, please share the page. Please share the page. Let's get us as women and of course men who are listening to an opportunity to hear what they have to say. Because you're wondering why I ain't getting no job, why they ain't calling me back, what's happening? Listen in so you can find out why.
Yes,
All right, share the page.
So, I just want to go back. And this whole thing about LinkedIn.
You want to wait?
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. Shame.
Don't be at all. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in with us today, we have some HR managers, talent managers in the building. We have Tameka Forbes, Ahmad Thompson, and Lacretia Johnson. It's the food, y'all. It's the food, I promise. All right, in the building, and they're giving us some really good insights about the reasons why some of us or some persons may not be called back, wondering why we sending in all our resumes. We sending our resume out, we writing in the forms and we putting them in, but we have our email address, shut them down at gmail.com and Pookie and them at hotmail.com. And then on our social media accounts, we have, us. What are some things that you see that may be unappealing?
I always think about the baby boomers and what's the generation before the baby boom? What's our generation? Millennials? Not millennials, Generation X?
Generation X.
Generation X.
Right.
So what I'm finding on LinkedIn, right, is that a lot of Generation Xers and baby boomers, because of social media wasn't really, we were Nintendo and all the rest of it, right? I mean, well, Nintendo's around, but I mean, in terms of, those types of digital
right,
stuff that we weren't accustomed to. I'm finding that we tend to just say, you know what, it's who I know now in order to get a job, more than just putting forward a presence on LinkedIn. And I found, I see a lot of um, baby boomers catching up, but it's one thing that is concerning. The fact that, what, at the end of the day, companies are going on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And companies are looking for professionals on LinkedIn. So it does not matter which generation you belong to. You need to ensure that you go online, read up, how do I create a LinkedIn account, and basically put yourself out there, because you have a lot to share as well. No matter at what stage you're in. We've got all the generations working right now in one place. So that's something that from LinkedIn I've always felt concerned about.
Yes. That's a real life thing. I think I'd say about 85% of all jobs right now are posted on LinkedIn or some social media. So whether it's Indeed, whether it's
Facebook.
remotework.com, Facebook, WhatsApp, literally, jobs are posted first online somewhere, then in the paper, or then in some periodical. But if your presence, and don't be daunted by having to have the best profile or the best so-and-so, it's look, you're telling your story about who you are and presenting that in the best way possible. And I think a lot of people get kind of maybe even a bit intimidated,
yes,
because there are persons who are very vocal,
savvy,
very on there like all the time, and there are others who are like, LinkedIn, what's the address again? And don't be afraid of that. Just embrace that. Everything is on YouTube. The University of YouTube is real. Like youtube.com, how to create a LinkedIn profile. And I promise you, there are a couple of things that you should do. Present, of course, a professional photo, have a tagline that indicates what you can do, what your skill set is, or what you're passionate about. And then list your job history, just like a resume, but on digital form. And LinkedIn actually translates or transforms your profile into a resume itself. So you can present that document as, you can save it as a PDF, and there you go, bam, a resume in hand.
Created.
Bam, and you just send it to Tameka to get hired, right? But listen to me, like it's not that difficult anymore.
So let me ask you a question then. What about persons who have like visible tattoos, nose piercing, without being, judgmental or discriminating in any way? When they come for I'm trying to be nice.
Yes.
All right. So when they come to corporate, okay, because you could go certain places and still have those tattoos. You can't see. Ours is putting up some tattoos, like facial tattoos, nose rings, and all these different things that are coming in. They're coming with their resume, man. They got it together. What's wrong with y'all? They have it together to be good.
I think I have a skewed view on this, so I'll let the ladies go first. I'll share my opinion thereafter.
Let's go.
You decide, Lacretia.
Okay, well, I will definitely say it really depends on the environment, because there are some environments that's very relaxed. I do have clients that's very relaxed, and there's some clients that I have that very corporate. So someone that has a full face tattoo, that's definitely, I don't think that's going to fly in either environment, to be honest, because it's just not, I don't want to say it's not professional, but a lot of people won't take to it. And you just have to be very careful with how you appear to clients. Because you represent the company, point blank. You represent the company, if you believe that or not. So primarily, it really depends on the environment where I think it is accepted or not. There are some companies that are very, very strict, but things are evolving now where there was a time you couldn't wear anklets. Now you see anklets now being worn, and you see it worn by a professional lady. So things are evolving. So it really depends on the environment, I would say, whether it's accepted or not.
So,
because I saw her face from the time I made that statement. So I'm waiting patiently.
Listen, I have a tattoo. Okay, at the end of the day, things. I recall being 17 and 18 and wanting to, do certain things and express myself, and and I agree with Lucretia. It is all about the environment that you're going to. However, you also have to be very careful with symbols and where these things are, right? But you also have to think about who's your customer,
right?
And how is that going to influence my ability to deliver on the service. So I do believe that it has a lot to do with where you are, the culture of your organization. I know organizations that have nightlife where tattoos
It's like
are
an asset.
allowed. That's an asset,
Yeah.
you know.
Plus.
However, if you are basically serving at a family hotel and you have a tattoo of a gun, that's
Or
not
some
going to
murderous
work.
message, yes.
Right. So it's all about the messaging, and I think it's going to evolve again.
It is.
I mean, even in terms of hairstyles, etc., locking natural hairstyles are the way to go. People are embracing who they are.
Yes.
And I think the organizations have to also keep up with these changing
Yeah.
things. I know 10 years ago, you would not find certain organizations agreeing that tattoos were permitted.
Yes.
Right.
But now you got to go with this is your workforce.
Exactly.
Your workforce is
It's
basically changing the way
different.
that you accept people for who they are.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Let me just ask a question real quick. Because she made a statement about natural hairstyles. I remember reading lots of different posts about persons who were, what's the word I want to use? They were, I could use discriminated, right?
Yeah.
They were discriminated because of their natural hair. You know, certainly they have to fix their hair a certain way to be to come into their workplaces. Before we continue with the matter, I just want to ask, how would we address something like that as far as your hair being natural and someone is HR or some other, your management or supervisor is complaining about your hairstyle?
Again, it's evolved, right? I think at the end of the day, it's about the culture of the organization. Health and safety has also become a part of it as well, because here it is, if you're delivering service and you basically have to represent the organization.
Yeah.
And it's it's almost a thin line to a certain extent, because what may be acceptable to Tameka may not be acceptable to Ahmad,
Yeah.
But at the same time, from a natural hair standpoint, I think there's been a lot of embracing of natural hair over the years. And no matter which organization you work for, you will have policies that say, listen, you got to be neat.
Keep it
Yes.
tight.
Kept.
You have to have well-kept hair.
Yeah.
You also have to make sure it's clean.
Yes.
And these simple things, as well as styles.
Yes.
Suppose I walk into work one day with my hair sticking up in the air. It all depends.
Right.
And we have to being professional is really what it's all about.
Yeah.
And so once you present a professional image, and I think in the Bahamas we've really, really evolved to accepting certain things. Some organizations, some organizations, but that's a part of being in human resources.
Yeah.
We evolve, we grow, we change, and I think that's happened in the workplace for tattoos and natural hair and even nails.
Yeah.
Nails as well, and locks, locking, and
Beards.
and earrings.
5 years ago, I
beards.
could not work at certain organizations with a full beard.
That's right.
It was, I'm sorry to get this job, you have to cut this beard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mom, what you talking about?
Mhm.
But that is literally
It's
a
changed.
policy. It was
It's
a policy.
changed.
It's changed.
It's changed. And any organization that accepts that, that's the organization that you should work for in terms of
Yeah.
changing and
Awesome.
evolving and
yeah.
embracing the fact that styles, etc. Things are changing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone on Facebook said, I agree, move with the times, but keep it professional.
That's
Yes,
it.
Now,
yes,
Matt,
yes.
do you want to talk about what
Yes.
you
So
want
I have a skewed view but I want to start here. I believe that there's a word that's coming to my spirit is storytelling,
Mhm.
right? Organizations today are telling a story with what they want to accomplish in their culture, how they show up in the community.
Mhm.
Corporate social responsibility is a big thing.
Mhm.
A social presence is a big thing. And so organizations are very careful not to use words in a job description or job posting that will discriminate against any
Right.
person
Of course.
that has any of these things that may not be typical.
Right.
And today, the atypical is what's typical now in this day and age.
Mhm.
I am all for pink hair and blue nails and all these other stuff. I for that. I believe, however, that you still have a responsibility to control the narrative of your own story.
That's true.
And you also have to understand, do I want to work in corporate anywhere? Or do I see myself being an entrepreneur for the rest of my life? when you own your own business and can come and go as you please, you have
Do
the right to do
whatever
as you
want.
please.
Exactly.
But be careful as you are a 17-year-old making, or a 35-year-old making decisions, because these things can sometimes be irrevocable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I was 17, there are some parts of me that are the same, and there are parts of me that are very, very different.
Mhm.
And the person I am today would not have been hired at that age, with the mindset I had at that age. And you grow, you evolve, you mature.
Mhm.
But the things you put on your body
Yeah.
can't come off like that
Yep.
easily. A tattoo on your body that it could be covered, or that could be an expression of who you are as a person, is beautiful. That expression in itself is beautiful, but what that expression is still subject to somebody's opinion,
Yep.
still subject to somebody's evaluation of you. And so be careful what you put on your body, because it is
Yes.
yours.
It is.
Yes.
But when you're coming to my organization,
Right.
I have the right.
I have the right to
refuse.
say
Yep.
this is not acceptable here, or won't be tolerated here.
Right.
I do believe though that as we evolve as organizations and as a culture, we have to be careful not to put our individual viewpoints on an organization's culture.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Very important.
I may say I don't like tattoos, and I may do someone funny because of their tattoo, but the organization says this style or this branding of
allowed.
tattoo is accepted.
Acceptable.
So who am I then to say you are the wrong type of employer, you this and you that,
Just
because
be the HR person you think.
or anybody,
Anybody,
HR, or the person that's in
managers,
leadership in the
managers,
organization,
even
managers,
managers.
other
Yeah.
co-workers,
Right.
because we bring our personal views to work and put it on
Yeah.
somebody else.
That's right.
But if what the company is standing for is one thing, my job as an employee there is to uplift that and to make that acceptable to all employees. So my final point on that is, if you're going to put a tattoo on your body, or wear pink hair, or wear green eyes, that's wonderful, if it matches that company's culture.
Mhm.
If you find that you're having trouble with being accepted in roles, or getting promotions, or getting even hired, then perhaps you need to reevaluate where you're applying and the job you want to apply for.
Mhm.
I don't believe in putting people in buckets, but we got to be careful what we do to our bodies, because that will last for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I want you to put. I know I shouldn't say it like that, but I want us to say things like this, because once again, we may have some young persons listening in
course.
now,
Of
and
course.
they may be deciding on putting tattoos places, visible places,
Mhm.
not knowing. Just all of us were crazy. All of us was dumb at
Yeah.
some point in our lives, like
Or
14,
made poor
15,
choices,
16, made
right?
wrong decisions.
Yeah.
And we did some things.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 tattoos, but they're not visible.
Mhm.
All right, but we do things,
But you know,
because
Trish-
we like to
sorry,
express
you're done.
ourselves, and this is
Mhm.
the new way and the new culture and whatever. And someone I read just now said we are becoming Americanized, and I don't want to try to discriminate with that either.
Mhm.
But I know that American culture is a little bit more expressive
Mhm.
than we
Liberal,
are,
very
down
liberal.
here. So
Because
that's
there are
it. I'm gonna
laws
leave
too that
there.
protect that
Yeah.
liberal,
Exactly.
that liberty.
Yeah.
Right.
Because from my issue isn't really the visibility, it's what you allow me to be, what you allow to be visible,
Right.
right? Because it could be a beautiful expression of your whatever your culture or feeling is about a thing, but what that visibility will do to my organization, or to the authenticity and the integrity of the organization you work for, is what's in question here. So it's not so much, because a lot of organizations have now said tattoo could be wherever it is, but what is on the tattoo is the
That's
concern.
it.
That's the issue.
That's it.
That's the
That's it.
issue.
Let's move on to, let's talk about some of the first. Let's talk about the employees now,
Mm.
the employers rather, and the importance of training and development. Let me let Krisha's. All I hear Krisha's doing the amen quiet. Yeah, that's right. I'll give her a chance to talk. Krisha, I'll give you a chance to speak.
Goodness.
How important is it for employers to understand the value of training and development in the workplace?
It's super important, actually, very, very important, because like we said earlier, our job is to really help our employees to evolve. Can I mean to evolve and to be the best that they can be. And what I normally do in cases, I look beyond even now where they are currently in. It is the expectation that they could stay with the company, but I want them to be so successful that whatever they gather while they are with this company, if they're able to be so successful afterwards, they could say, listen, I've learned so much while I was here,
Mhm.
Based on what you exposed to me, based on what you saw in me, that I'm able to take my skills somewhere else if there's a much better opportunity. And so that's just with the part of the skills. But when it comes to the training with management, it's so important, because some managers, they don't know how to cut off personal feelings, like they said.
Yeah.
Personal feelings, sometimes they treat employees like children. They say whatever they want to say. So you have to train managers on how to speak to employees, how to reprimand, how to handle sensitive issues. All right. I've experienced a situation before where a manager, she had she had to deal with a sensitive issue, but she spoke about it with another employee. You don't do stuff like that. You have to be confidential, and you have to know how to deal with sensitive information.
Mhm.
And so it was a lack of training that she had, but I was able to coach her through it. So training is very, very important for the management level and employees, because you know it's just a way to allow us to be the best that we could be, and for us to reach the goal that we're ultimately trying to reach. Okay, it's very, very important.
Any views on that, Amar?
Absolutely.
But he's the expert with training.
Well, of course.
Listen.
Right. So let us
Training, the single most important or distinguishing factor of a successful organization is if it's a learning organization.
That's right.
If an organization is not a learning organization, it is going to fail.
That's
That is the
right.
bottom line. You will be left in the tides of sand.
Mhm.
You will be left behind. You're going to be antiquated. Your team will also leave you, because no matter what employees say about training, they need it and they love it.
Mhm.
It's what we do as professionals in the space to make it engaging for them, to make it wanting for them. But if an organization is not learning and growing, it is going to fail. And so when you ask a question about how important it is or why it's important, is because if you wish to evolve, if you wish to move with the tide, if you wish to enhance yourself and make yourself better, if you're not learning, you lose. It's the single most important quality in any organization. If you wish to be successful, you must be learning. And in order to learn, you have to teach.
Yeah.
And you must be teachable.
Mhm.
That's right.
There are some people in workplace that have been around for a very, very long time.
Mhm.
And they believe that what they know is all there is to know. There are two things I want to leave with your audience today. There's a growth mindset and there's a fixed mindset.
Mhm.
And fixed mindset says, I've been in this for 25 years. I have underclothes older than you. I good. I don't need to know no more. Mom, sir, your last day is very soon.
Yeah.
They sworn right through one letter, but says, it said, don't worry about it no more. The growth mindset says, this was interesting. I need to know more about this. I need to learn more than I currently know.
Yeah.
It's taking Tameka's wherewithal and her experience and adding to mine and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right? It's understanding that I'm not the end all on this particular matter, and there's more to know and more to learn.
Yeah.
If your mind is fixed, you will lose.
Yeah.
If the organization believes we have been successful for this long, nobody can test us, nobody can try us, I promise you, you are one good disaster away
Yep.
from being obsolete.
Can I make an example? I work in sales here, right?
Mhm.
And there are a lot of persons who are still fixed on, I just have word of mouth and that's fine. I can deal with that. I don't need no social media.
Sure,
We don't
sure,
need social media. Social media
sure.
can't do nothing for
No.
me.
Mhm.
And all these different things. Or, child, I can't. Some say, child, I don't know how to do social media. I can't keep up with the times. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna leave it like that.
Mhm.
And I have seen their businesses fail because
Indeed.
there are other persons, their competitors are out
Yep.
there in
Yep.
the faces of
Aggressively.
people. Every single
Mhm.
day they have a new product out, a
Mhm.
new service that they're doing, etc. And so they are evolving,
Mhm.
and then they're teaching their staff and other persons how to evolve as well with the times. So as Ahmad stated, if you do not get in with the times and roll in with the times, you're going to get left behind.
100%.
Business is going to be
Mhm.
gone.
Mhm.
All right? Mhm.
And just to add to that, I think a lot of professionals, a lot of people in the workplace right now, in terms of having that growth mindset.
Mhm.
It's not just about the soft skills; it's also about the functional
Mhm.
training as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
Not everyone. The methodology by which you train
Yes.
and mentor and help people to grow is very important. But I want to share with the audience as well. I have not stopped learning since I'm not and I'm not going to give you my age or anything, but I can tell
You know,
you.
you're only 22.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
It's okay.
You
It's
know,
okay.
at the end of the day, anytime that I come into contact with someone who I know for a fact, you know what, you're telling me your story,
Yes.
but guess what? Here's some feedback.
Right.
You still have to consider how you get better at X, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what I find is we do get stuck sometimes because we're not self-aware.
Mhm.
And I can tell you through my career, there was a point in time when I lacked self-awareness.
Mhm.
And I thought the way to get things done was to just go at it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I didn't have sufficient empathy for,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, how is this person going to respond to
Yes,
what I'm trying to
yes.
achieve?
Mhm.
And we sometimes get selfish as we gain more knowledge. We
I
get
want to hoard it.
Gotta
selfish,
keep that out.
If I
and we
tell
don't
you, you're
share
gonna
it.
outshine me.
And at the same juncture, if I am of that growth mindset,
Mhm.
I will continue to grow. I will continue to develop. But I always say, at the end of the day, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Mhm.
And when you're able to give to someone, I mean, I've had people who have poured into my life and into my development,
Mhm.
and people who have basically also, to some extent, been very critical
Yes.
of me.
Mhm.
But having people criticize you, but constructively,
Yes,
of
yes,
course,
yes, yes. Mhm.
and I've had the destructive criticism as well.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's about making sure that you own it. You
Yes.
own your story, but also you own your own development.
Yes.
People expect managers to just come to them and say, listen, I can help you with, no, what do you want?
Right.
You have to own your own personal development and how you grow and you continue to grow. And it does not matter which stage you are at in your career.
journey, yes.
It does not matter. You could be 5 years out from retirement.
Yes, yes.
But you may need to learn something new, fresh, and exciting about how you move on.
To sustain yourself in this last 5
Yeah.
years.
Listen to me. That is good stuff. I like that. But I have to share something that I read just now that came up on the screen. It says, if I can find it now. The baby boom generation has destroyed most organizations. What are your thoughts on that?
Now hold on. That's a little heavy.
A little deep.
I wanna say one thing before we move on to that question. We gotta explore it in detail because I think it's important not
It's
to.
very interesting.
We gotta talk about that.
That's a juicy
Um,
one.
But it's a good one.
That's a juicy one.
I think. Listen to me. If you have gone to sleep in any day and have not had the opportunity to learn something new, you have wasted your entire
Entirely.
day.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I'm not saying you have to go to a university. I'm not saying you have to take some certificate course. I'm saying today, in this 24-hour period, 86,400 seconds you were gifted.
Mhm.
And if you didn't take one of those seconds to learn something or add to your current knowledge base, you have wasted all 86,400 of them.
Oh, wait, hold on. I wouldn't say that because you could use that. I get it though, but you could use that to pour out into something.
If it is, I promise you, Trish, if you are teaching, you are learning.
Okay, good.
I guarantee it. It's the same thing. Because if you are a true teacher, the person you're teaching is giving you something as well.
Right.
You are learning something from
get
this transaction, from this interaction with this person. Maybe you learn how to deal with this type of person today.
Right.
Maybe you learn how to control your temper today.
But you're still learning.
Something you learned to make you a better version of you.
Mhm.
If you have gone to bed that did not learn something today, you need to wake back up. Get a refund on the day because you've wasted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get a refund on that
Yes.
day. Okay. All right. Then we're gonna take a break because we want to talk about what the person
Yes.
said.
Oh, Lord.
That's a
Oh,
juicy
Lord.
That's a
statement.
deep
What a
one.
time.
Deep.
So we're
Has
gonna take a break.
destroyed.
Listen, before we take a break, real quick, the number to call is 328-8164. 328-8164. Write that number down. If I were you, I would want to be the second caller today to get this thing with I would get under Ahmad. Hold on, let me repeat that. I want to get whatever Ahmad has to train or to teach us in this time. And he's actually offering it to us, those who are listening. He's going to give two persons an opportunity to be trained by whatever it is that they need to know to help
Prepare
with
for
them
interviews
and prepare
and-
for interviews and stuff in the workforce. So
Absolutely.
let's take a break, and when we come back, we will see if we can get that second caller. How my Facebook audience doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? So say the number slowly, ma'am. The number is 328-8164. 328-8164. We're gonna get the second caller in right when we get back online to see if we got two persons now. So don't, if you didn't get the first one, that's okay. You'll get the second time. Let's see what they're saying on here now. Tameka is cutting edge material. Oh,
Yes. It is the truth. It is the truth.
Okay, someone says yes, you have to own your own development.
Mhm.
This starts with knowing where you want to go. Okay, someone says facts. If you are teaching, you are learning.
Yes,
Absolutely. We must be teachable, priceless. That's someone, I guess, quoting you. All right.
That sounds like my mom. she always says
What's
priceless.
her name?
Timberland? Thompson?
I saw
Yeah.
Ultimate.
Yeah, that's my mom. That's probably my mom.
She
She always says press is behind every comment. It's probably her.
Well, hello, mommy. Let me see. No, this one, that one is in her.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, see there. Measure you need glasses. Yes, thank you, mommy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, man. She's supporting you. She's supporting you. Couple seconds in.
God
Good.
bless her.
Is there anything? I have some more questions, of course, but there anything specific that you want us to talk about?
I think maybe we should talk about how to prepare for like what to do for an interview.
That's one of the questions.
Okay.
That actually,
That's probably
yes,
one to
right
talk
after that. No, actually, I think I passed that. I didn't even have a chance to. I want to talk about like how do you present yourself after you've already
Oh, boy.
given in the resume. You ready? Say, okay, here, this is the date and the time for you to come. What happens next?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yes, this. See there. Okay, we sent in the resume. We are dressed for the interview. What do HR management look for when they are looking for someone to fill the position?
Mm.
Welcome back. Listen, I hope y'all tuning in, man, because this is some juicy information that's happening here. This is priceless.
Yes.
What mommy say?
Priceless. She would say
Priceless.
priceless. Yes.
Priceless.
All right.
Indeed.
So this is a question that I don't know how I got to see. I don't know how I get to overlook this question. This is very important. The question is, okay, fine. You've sent in your resume. You got a call to say, hey, I would like for you to come in on Thursday at 9 a.m. to have an interview.
Mm-hmm.
You got your call. Yes, I got my interview,
Mhm.
right? So what happens next? Let's start from the time we start putting on our clothes straight down to the time that we come for the interview,
Mm-hmm.
and then what all should we share?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going first?
I'll chime in first.
Okay.
Okay. You have gotten a call from an organization, the one that you want to work for, or that you sent, as Lacretia's example earlier, was just 1,000 resumes to anybody. Somebody picked my name and called me. And they said, come in on Thursday at 9. The first thing you need to be doing is understanding who has called you, right? A lot of people just get the call and hang up the phone in excitement. Who was the person that just called you? Who do you ask for if you have to make a call, if you have to return the call and ask another question?
Yeah.
Is it Mrs. Forbes? Is it Mr. Thompson? Is it Mrs. Johnson? There was one lady called me, that was Wednesday around 4 o'clock, and her voice was squeaky. It was high. And man, she didn't become Thursday.
Oh my
Mom,
God.
that's every person in my organization. I have no idea who called you. So first of all, maintain your composure. I understand you're excited, but take a moment to get the information you need. Please confirm for me where your organization is, right? You may be going to a very large place or a very small place. You want to understand exactly where you're going. Then you need to understand what they expect you to bring with you. Do I need to walk with a resume? Do I need to walk with any ID or anything? If you're like me, you have everything you could possibly need in a folder or a portfolio. You walk in with your passport and national insurance card because you want to marry you this evening.
Right.
So what you need to do is have everything prepared and ready. Everything needs to be valid and clean. Don't bring me no mashed up paper, nothing but soil up, and your coffee from last night or whatever.
Grease on the table.
Don't do that.
No,
Don't bring that.
but that's my chicken
Right?
grease.
Don't bring that.
Okay.
Because that sends a clear message as to who you are today. Even if it's not the truest depiction, it sends me a message. Don't forget, I'm judging the cover you've given me to look at.
Absolutely.
The next thing I would say to you is to choose what you're going to wear. Everybody should find a black suit, a black shirt, blazer, black pants, blue, gray, brown, something solid and professional. The dress you wore to your cousin's party, your baby shower on Saturday, is likely not the dress you should wear to the interview.
No.
Okay? I'm not trying to break anybody's bank. Everybody has a moment where they don't have what they need to get where they need to go. But you have an aunt, a cousin, a neighbor, a friend who you can use a jacket for. When I started working at the bank, I used to my daddy clothes. Daddy, I can need your pinstripe suit. I used to tell her, working 4 hours every other day. But I had on my daddy good suit because I needed to present an image that I wanted people to respect me and uplift me in my process. So you choose your outfit, you try that outfit on because last week it might have fit you good. This week it may be a little
tight,
change hair or a little short there, so you need to try that outfit on, walk in that. Make sure you rehearse your experience. Find out where this place is and get there the day before your interview. If you're catching the bus, if you're catching a ride, if you're in your own vehicle, time where you live is not going to change between now and then. Where this organization is not going to be, they're not going to do a pop-up interview with you. You know where Ahmad Thompson business is. So rehearse that time. Okay, I live in Yamacraw. His business downtown. That can take me 47 minutes. And traffic is 9 o'clock in the morning. School is back open.
Yeah.
Time your journey. 9 o'clock really means 8:30. Get to the place seated. cool off, your spirit and settled, you done say your prayers, you done settle your stomach. It's half an hour in before the interview is ready. The person I guarantee is looking out in the foyer to see who is here.
Right. So they probably already know you're there.
Silence your phone from on your way to the place. Everybody you know that know you're going to interview, know you're going on an interview.
Yes.
You know, they ain't going to call you this morning. They call you this morning. I can get you when I finish.
Yeah.
Take the time to rehearse and understand who you are going to see. One, who you're interviewing with, the company that you're going to be interviewing for or with. What do they stand for? What is their culture? What is their mission and vision? What do they want to offer? What are they offering you in this position? All of these things are things that must be done prior to your meeting with this individual or these individuals. Is it going to be a panel interview? Is it just going to be Tameka? Is it just going to be Ahmad? What are you walking into? Rehearse that, prepare for that. Be ready for it when you get there. The interview itself may jar you a little bit, so don't let the process itself, but you can control, for the most part, catch you off guard. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I've said a lot. I'll pass it on.
Okay, somebody just said, yes, turn your phone on. That's off, turn your phone off. Please address attire and overall presentation. This is a major concern, especially for male candidates. Yes, we're doing that now. Thank you. We're doing that now. And I think he expressed, thank you. Someone says, I'm loving the show. I think he expressed exactly how males should have
Anyone
a
for that
blazer.
Yes.
No, listen now, let me be very clear.
Depends.
It depends on the role, one, and it
Yeah.
depends on your situation. I'm not
That's
saying that I
right.
need you to go to fine dress and
No.
find a few $100
Yeah.
blazer. I'm saying to you, professional could also be understated professional.
Yeah.
A clean white shirt, a clean black pants.
That's right.
That's all, or even a pair of khaki pants
Yes.
with some what we call soft boy shoes,
Yeah.
right? Boat shoes or a little lace up something.
Yeah.
Something that says, I took the time to
Right.
prepare for your interview,
Right.
to prepare for your meeting. I don't need you to have on a three-piece suit. That is not everybody's situation in life. I'm saying to you, prepare to look professional. Get a lineup, shape up your hair a little bit. You may not afford the haircut today, but take the time to prepare yourself. Ladies, ladies, gentlemen, have clean shoes. Like the simple stuff. Wear a belt that's not branded.
The tied up shirts, what's in now with the little cleavage coming
Listen,
out.
man, let me let the ladies
We
chime in, yeah?
We come to the.
What you
No,
interviewing for?
It's not about being sexy unless
Come
you're
on.
interviewing for a nightclub.
Right.
See, it all. No, you could show the cleavage if you're interviewing for a
For a
particular
nightclub.
type of
Maybe a
bartender.
bartender at a
Yeah,
bar.
it all depends.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna throw a wrench in this
I'm
whole
getting
thing.
my
Yes,
way for
yes.
those who don't know me. Please don't think that I'm trying to tell you where cleavage.
Yes.
Show you cleavage.
I'm going to throw a wrench in this showing up to
Yes.
interviews because a lot of interviews post-COVID were conducted
Virtually.
virtually.
Yeah.
And I think the other side of this, when you talk about how things are changing, more of that could happen, just based on where people are in
Yeah.
the world,
Mhm.
college students, etc. But even from a virtual perspective,
Yeah.
you have to make sure that, number one, you are in an area where you won't be disturbed.
Right.
Number two, you do look professional.
Yes.
That someone's not in the background cooking and calling out to the children and running up and down.
Come on in the kitchen. Keep on
That's one thing that I think, especially post-COVID, happened in a lot of organizations as well, because you want to make sure that you're putting the best foot forward, no matter if it's virtual or if it's in person. We've seen all of the persons who have been on what do you call it, Zoom?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who they got on
From
a
the top
shirt
up.
and nothing on,
Nothing on
no-
beneath.
shorts
Yes.
on, and they've got ties on, and so that's the age that we're in.
And yes.
So I think it's also important to address virtual interviewing,
Mhm.
and address the fact that at the end of the day, you got to just keep it professional.
Yes.
Professional. And Ahmad, I like the thought, in terms of, white shirt, black pants, but remember too, it's your appearance.
Right.
The way that you have your hair fixed,
Or not.
or
Your
not,
nails.
you have to take pride.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that we have to really instill in people coming into interviews. And when when organizations are in high school,
Yes.
even in terms of some of the creative things that some organizations are doing,
Mhm.
you have to ensure that when people are coming to you, they understand, what are you coming to? You know what this company stands
Yes. Yes.
for. Prior to even coming, you should be online,
Looking up.
Researching.
Asking your
researching.
coworkers and the friends that work
Who's
there.
this person? Like,
Mhm.
I'm going there, what to expect, and then you have a better outcome.
Yes.
And that's very important. But don't ever think that we're calling you because we're so desperate
Mm.
that we don't have a choice.
Yes.
You got to show up
Yes.
and show up in a professional manner, and also ensure that at the end of the day, when you get there, you maintain the very same thing you showed us
Yes.
when you were interviewed.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question, but before I do, I can go right ahead with the number 328-8164. You can call in 328-8164. Let's get the second caller in. We're not going to ask you much questions. I'm not going to put any challenges on you for this show, only because I want to see you win. I want to make sure that you get as much help as you possibly can so that you can get that dream job that you desire. 328-8164. That's the right number, right? 328-8164. And call in so we can give you the proper training that is needed, straight from astute
Talent management.
Indeed. And we go from there. So moving
I do want to say one more thing, please, Trish, if I can. Listen, two things. We have the ability to do what we want to do when we want to do it.
That's very true, Ahmad.
Applicants, no matter what your lot in life is,
that's right.
If your brethren call you with a call for the party tonight, and you had to borrow $300 to get an outfit for that party, I promise you would.
Of course.
That's right.
Why would you put the same effort into looking professional for the job that you're being called for, right? Second thing, I think we talked about responsibility earlier. HR professionals distinctly is called to not be afraid to pour into a person who may not know better.
That's very true. Very
Pull
true.
that person aside and say, you know what, can I give you would you accept some insight from me right now? You actually were a really good interview. But somebody may disadvantage you because of the way you presented for this meeting today. I would caution you to take it upon yourself to invest in A, B, and C, because you never know what somebody is going through. One, two, but don't just put the person aside. As the professional in the situation, as the person that may know more in this instance, share light. Let the person leave empowered, understanding that maybe I made a mistake this time, but perhaps now that I know better with my growth mindset, I could do better next time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So Ahmad, let's see who we have. Who are you training? Who are you training this week or next week? Or do you have I don't even know if you have a deadline, but let's go. Welcome, caller, to Your Lane Talk Show. Hello. No, sorry, let's do this again. Welcome to Your Lane Talk Show. This is Trish Hanna. You are the second caller.
Congratulations.
Who are we? Congratulations. Who are we speaking to? Tanya Seymour. Okay. So how do you think that you're going to benefit from Ahmad's training?
Well, you'll always benefit from it.
Yes.
New information, maybe, I don't know, but information nonetheless.
Information nonetheless. Doesn't she sound?
She's already a winner.
Listen, she's already. Ooh, Ahmad said you're already a winner.
Absolutely.
All right. And guess what? Congratulations, my dear. I want you to hold on so that the producer can actually get your contact. And we're going to actually give this information to Ahmad, and he's going to give you a call.
Absolutely.
And then he'll let you know what to do from there. But thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right. So there's someone on Facebook says technology is so unpredictable. Test that equipment prior to it.
Listen, that was my second point.
And you know what? I would wholeheartedly, here it is. You call in, you're utilizing your phone. It doesn't have any battery life, or the Wi-Fi is all sketchy, and you have to prepare, especially if it's virtual.
Yeah.
Excellent point. And we've seen that as well in terms of, people calling in, but then all of a sudden,
black.
The
screen goes black.
It's
We
nothing
live in
you
a
can
country,
do.
Tameka, where the electricity
Yeah.
can go off at the whim of a drop of a dime.
Yeah.
There's one tip I want to say. When you are going on a virtual interview, you establish the reconnection method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we were to lose contact, Mrs. Forbes, how
will
could I
sign
reach you
back in.
directly?
Yes.
That's
Or
right.
would you mind calling my cell phone directly? Confirm the number in the moment. Don't leave it to chance. Anything can happen, and so you set the stage. This person's going to say, "Wait a minute, she was ready for this interview.
Yeah.
She's
That's
setting
right.
this." Okay, yes.
That's
So
good
you
point.
let them know. Look, here's how I can be reached. Or how can I reach you if we were to lose connection in any way possible?
Ahmad,
Yes.
Mrs. Thompson said, "Bam, priceless."
Yes.
All right, love her. I love her. Okay, so When it comes to, let's talk about, because I know we're pressed for time now. Staff morale, okay, and employee engagement. We started a little bit about we spoke a little bit about it, but
Chris,
we
that's
didn't
two
really.
different shows right there.
Yeah, I know
I
that exactly.
swear.
Because
I know it.
you have some persons who, because we complain about customer service so much times, but in most cases, could it be that, I mean, it shouldn't be, but could it be that because the management or supervisor, someone is not, doing something or causing them to get upset, and they're not listening to them, and so they putting it out on us, and as the customers, could it be that we're not giving them proper training about how to conduct ourselves, and if we have issues where customers complaining about something, this is what you do. And I'm just listing some things that could help with that. Could it be that you're not paying them sufficiently, and so they're acting bitter, and they are vengeful and all these other things? What's happening?
I could tell you engagement is a big thing for me.
Mhm.
I think at the end of the day, if employees are not engaged, they're quietly quitting.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the new buzzword.
Yeah.
That's the new buzzword,
I like that.
quietly quitting. That's the new word for
Quietly
this. I learned that from a friend last
quitting.
night
Yes.
while at dinner.
Mhm.
One of the things that we struggle with, and you talk about empathy.
Mhm.
There's so many people hurting
Yes.
who, when they come to your job,
Mm.
if you're not able to affect a change in them when they come to work, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think in a lot of instances, a lot of managers go in and it's like, listen, we got to get this job done.
Yes.
But an employee is a whole person.
A
Yeah.
whole person.
A whole person. What affects me may not affect you, Trish. It may not
Absolutely.
affect Ahmad. I may raise my voice at
Mhm.
Ahmad, and he's like, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
But Lacretia may break down crying.
Yes.
And it all depends. An employee is a whole person,
Mhm.
and you have to engage them at where they are.
Yes. Yes.
Because where I am in my life may not be where anyone else
Exactly.
is. So engage, and I agree with you, Ahmad. That is another show.
Yes.
It is.
And I
Yeah.
think especially post-COVID,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
it is so critical because you do not know, especially coming from a particular industry. I could tell you,
Mhm.
I was not employed for a while, and I could tell you it. I had I could say it out loud. I almost had a nervous breakdown
Yes.
because you got to think about what's going to happen next, right? So I just want to say this,
Mhm.
and I'll end with this, right? To give my colleagues an opportunity to respond. If your employees aren't engaged, then you're not doing what you need to do.
Okay.
You're not connecting with them in a way that matters to them. And they're not going to make that work that you've given to them look any better unless
Yes.
they feel that they have, that they really feel good about what they're doing.
My goodness. All right, we're gonna take a break because I wanna hear from Krish though,
Yeah.
but we're gonna take a break real quick. All I hear is yeah. Listen, when I tell you about support, she's one of them. She's one of my excellent support systems. But she also has a voice,
Absolutely.
and she has lots to say.
Right.
So after this break, we're gonna hear from Krish.
My point. Let's talk about the interview process. To call my point.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wanna
Excellent
continue? You wanna start with that?
Um,
'Cause I
well,
want
that
you to
was
speak.
two.
Raquel,
other
I
points.
see you.
Yeah, there were
Woo,
two
woo,
or three
woo,
other
woo.
points I wanted.
Give
to
me
add.
1 second. Go
But
ahead.
What you said is so important.
It's crazy.
It's so important.
And let me tell you, it hurts me
Yeah.
to see how, sometimes the only
you
thing
just
someone
have to-
wants is
To
a
be
smile.
seen, just to be heard.
Right.
And if I walk through, I'll be alive, right?
That's
If
what
I
I mean.
walk,
Go ahead, but you're sharing,
if
isn't it?
if I walk through anywhere, and I always made it. This is important to me. Anywhere that I'm walking through as a leader, as a manager, and I see people,
You have to engage
I have to
them.
engage you. I have to say
Have
hello.
to.
How you
How are
doing?
you
How you
doing?
child?
Yes.
How
How
this
are
one
things?
doing?
Right.
How are things going? Now sometimes I could tell you it ends up being a
whole
conversation,
thing.
Yeah.
right? But you know how to cut that short and
Yes,
say, listen,
yes.
we can chat.
Yes.
Right.
But take care of yourself.
Have a
People
good day.
want
Do
to
well.
know that people care.
Yeah.
Yes, it's as
It's
simple as
the
that. It's as
care.
simple as that.
And if you don't care for me, then why must I
might
care about
for
the
you
work?
and this thing.
And the reality is, we spend most of our time
At work. At work.
You know,
At work.
and some people actually consider their work family.
Yes,
be their
family.
most important.
Their
And in
family.
some cases,
That's such
it
an
is the
important
only
point.
family they have.
Yeah.
Right.
And we don't know.
Truly.
We don't
You don't
recognize
know.
that.
Until you see somebody out somewhere, you be like, hold on, Krishan and Ahmad, they talk, they friends. all of a sudden, Krisha's daughter is my godchild, and
Mm.
Yeah.
you have no idea.
No idea.
The connections.
That's right. I think her point on family, I think that's a good.
We're gonna let
Yeah.
her say that again.
I think that's important.
Yes.
Welcome back. Listen, if you are not tuning in to us on your Lane Talk Show Facebook page, y'all are missing out because we saying some juicy things outside of when y'all there listening to them commercial on the radio on channel 976. We having conversations. So tune in on Facebook, Your Lane Talk Show. Sorry, Your Lane Life Coaching is the Facebook page, or Star 106 FM's page on Facebook, so you can actually hear the conversations behind the conversations. All right. So we were talking about, how can we help with employee engagement and what else is there? Staff morale and stuff. And as we were on a break, Krisha was making some points about family engagement, and Krish talk.
Yeah, so to continue on what Tameka said, it's so important to engage with your employees because, like you said, they're a whole person. And you have to be sensitive enough to see that there's something going on with this person. It's just not that they're just being absent for no reason or the attitude is off for no reason. You have to try to dig a little deeper to find out, okay, what's really going on with you? And when you actually show that concern with an employee, they appreciate that because I'm not just working here. You're actually really concerned about my well-being, whatever might be going on with me, and how even I could assist you with what you're going through. And once people see that you're actually showing that compassion for them, they will take more consideration to go beyond and to actually highlight some of the stuff that you are doing for them, to show that, okay, this is a healthy environment to work with because it's not just about, just working. They care about their people. And also to add to what Ahmad was talking about regarding interview preparation, you have to prepare yourself with certain questions you might be asked.
That's
All
right.
right. What I find in interviews, a lot of people, they're not prepared to talk about themselves. I'm someone, I don't like to talk about myself, but you have to be prepared for that because that's definitely something that you're going to be asked. Even in the field that you're in or whatever the role it is that you're being interviewed for, find out questions, prepare for questions that's going to be pertaining to that role. You have to be knowledgeable about the company. Don't just walk in just saying, oh, I just got an interview. What are you coming into? Because you have to also consider, am I even going to be a good fit? Because it's not even right. It's not just if I'm a good fit for the company, are they a good fit for me? Because when you consider the commute time or the expectations and all these things that might be involved with the job, if you don't think of all these things, then it might be a waste of time on both ends,
Yes.
right? So you have to consider what it is that you have to be prepared for. Like Ahmad said, ask questions. You don't want to be blindsided because it's already a stressful point anyway to just go through the interview. You don't want to add unnecessary stress to yourself. So be prepared as much as possible because communication is important. Who you're meeting with, what will be the other actions you have to take if something comes up. You have to think of all these things and also think of how are you going to grow with the company, how are you going to be an asset. All these questions you have to think of on how to present yourself as an ideal candidate to your interviewer.
So when we talk about I don't know, is there like a specific or particular type of format or structure when it comes to complaints about harassment, sexual harassment, discrimination in the workplace? I know that various companies, they differ, but what happens in cases where you have, for instance, management that is having sexual advancement towards their employees? Where would one go with that information? How do you
Such
complain?
a hot topic. I mean, let me say this. You come to HR, and you could be in a very small company where you don't have an HR, right?
Yes.
But you need to be able to make up your mind. Do I stay in this situation or no one should be subjected to sexual harassment under any circumstance. And HR should be there to support. You have to listen and make sure that at the end of the day, whatever is factually coming to you, you're digesting it because you don't know if someone feels as if they've been harassed, then you've got to dig down a little deeper. So,
Right.
yeah, it's HR. You should be
Preach.
coming to HR.
Preach, what are your thoughts?
Okay, thought I was going
And
to
it
answer this
doesn't have to be
question.
sexual harassment. It could be, just harassment in general, discrimination, or maybe the supervisor just don't like you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to report it, because some people they feel that they should keep it to themselves because they
Yeah,
don't want to get
suffer in
someone in
silence.
trouble.
Right.
But no matter what the case is, it has to be reported because we have to keep record of certain things that are happening. If we don't know how to address it. Okay, some employees, they like to keep stuff, they communicate things amongst themselves, but if it doesn't reach management or people who could help you, the problem is going to continue to exist. And our job is to help to diffuse these situations and to correct them as best as we can. So it is very important to report it because you're not really responsible, and you shouldn't have to carry on that burden because our job is to create a safe environment for you. All right, let us do our job in doing that, and you help us by doing that, by passing on the information that we need to do so.
Absolutely.
I want to add too. I feel like the thing to remember about harassment is that it's relative.
Yeah.
And so what I'm offended by, Tameka may find is a big joke.
Yeah.
Right? There's no big deal because she has a different relationship with that topic or that matter. The thing about harassment or any sort of workplace grievance is that the employee has the right to report it and HR has the duty to investigate it.
That's right.
It is your duty as an HR professional, as a manager, as a leader, because Tameka also alluded to the fact that there are some organizations that may not have an actual human resource presence. That's no excuse. Whoever is in charge, whoever is the leader, wherever the leadership is, has a responsibility and a duty to investigate and then to eradicate this type of behavior. It is unacceptable, completely intolerable for a person to come to work to be subjected to some foolishness that could totally be avoided.
That's right.
I ain't have time. I cannot do it because Tameka alluded to that people are whole people.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that the person that you're paying the salary to or expecting to do this good work and to be holistically there when they come to work is suffering if they are being harassed or discriminated against in the workplace. And it is their right to report it. So people, please report it.
Yeah.
Someone
Please
says,
report it.
let the young ladies know they don't have to take their clothes off to get a job. If they have to do that, this is not the job for them.
And that person needs to be done away with.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
So what happens if, once again, if this is management? So do they go to the police? Do they report this? Who do they report this to?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, any organization should have a harassment policy. And so if it borders on assault, which is very different, then of course that is a matter that under the penal code, you could go to the police and report. At the same juncture, there are processes and procedures to report harassment in the workplace.
Correct.
And there should be progressive discipline that either addresses it or within the organization as well. But I just want to shift focuses to something else in terms of sexual harassment. One of the things is a culture that we seem to have a problem with. I really shouldn't, but I can have to.
Go there today.
Is that we think it's acceptable to you look good, boo, and
hey baby,
hey baby, and all of this, and
touch
you coming
people.
into the workplace
Touch
and touching
people.
people, and it has any young person, and this is something that even when you go into schools, etc., we have to bring to the attention of our young men. Boundaries are important, but also it's extremely important for managers to not encourage that type of behavior.
Or encourage it to make it or embarrass people who try to shun away it. Shun it away.
Like, man, he like you,
stop
man.
Freaking out.
Stop freaking out. No. At the end of the day, we have to create an environment where people feel safe. And also in a professional environment, you really need to ensure that you're protecting your employees from harassment and discrimination. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you don't want to come to work like Ahmad has said and feel like I got to put up with this today and suffer in silence.
Come on, man.
With all that's happening in the world today around mental health issues and depression and things that happen to people when they're being harassed, be very careful because this could affect someone in a major way. And
it's
it's a real, it bothers me beyond reason.
I got to do a part two.
I
Please do.
I
It's
got to part
necessary.
too. Now I'm saying because we run out of time and there's so much to talk about, so much to do. But I want to say, first of all, let's get another person to call in. So that we can get proper training because we need to know. You might want to know, you may not know how to do the resume, you might not know how to present yourself, you might just need some coaching, some tips or whatever on how to present yourself at the interview. And of course, this is being sponsored by Astute Talent Management, who's willing to take his time to train you and to help you along the way. So we're going to have the second caller, 328-8164, 328-8164, so you can get that proper training. That, I mean, because this is good information. This is excellent information. Before I go into my next segment, I want to ask, Lacretia, how can you be reached so the persons can assist? You can actually help persons with employment or help an employer, because we didn't really discuss too much of that either. With having to train, you might want to help an employer learn how to recruit or train. How can we reach you?
Yes, I could be reached by either 825-9283 or email connect@fourwindsconsultancy.com.
Okay. And Ahmad?
Sure. So you can visit my website. It's mytalentmatters.com. My Talent Matters, because it really does.
It does.
.com. Or you can reach me by email, info@mytalentmatters.com, or via WhatsApp or LinkedIn. So my WhatsApp number is 468-0192. LinkedIn is just Ahmad Rashad Thompson.
Ahmad Rashad Thompson. Now, Tameka, you don't have the business.
I ain't got no business for no one to call me at.
No.
But
listen,
you know,
the wealth of knowledge in this woman.
Exactly.
Listen to me.
I come into contact with people every day, and I'll tell you, anytime that I meet anyone that I can discuss and have a conversation about how they grow and develop, and that happens on a daily basis.
Literally.
And I hope to meet a lot of people in my lifetime that I can assist in that regard. So I don't have a company, but anytime that if you ever meet me, you can pull me aside.
Yes. And trust me, that is the truth. That is the truth.
We don't want to
That is the
disclose what
truth.
she does, but
Yes.
the area that she covers and what she does in her profession and where she's located, you would want to meet her along the street. You would
And
want
pull
to
her
see her
aside,
in
trust
the
me.
grocery store
Yes,
and pull her on the
yes,
side.
yes.
Trust me, because this place where she works, everybody in there Grammy trying to get her. All right, so trust me on that. So listen. Just before we actually have another segment on, and she's been so patient with us. She was actually waiting from 7:15. But no, don't worry. She patient. She's absolutely patient. But this is my opportunity. It's called Time to Talk with Coach Trish. I just made that up just now, by the way, because that's not what it's called, but I just can't remember it. But this is an opportunity for me to speak to my audience, just to encourage them, just to challenge them along the way. And one of the things that as we went through the show and I was thinking about it, and I said, okay, well, you have persons who may be discouraged. Some people are despondent. Some persons are sending in resumes and they are wondering, why is it that I'm not getting the calls? I keep on calling. It's nothing's happening. I keep on going to different places and different institutions to do an interview, but they're not calling me back. The first thing I want to say is, if you're able to, I would advise that you invest in one of these HR persons who are here. I promise you, investing in them is going to be the best thing that you've ever done. All right. And that's besides the fact that you are already being consistent in sending out the resumes. Because, of course, there may be to a point where you say, okay, I've done enough and I don't know what else to do. All right. I would advise you to invest in yourself, just like how you invest in going to the movies and you invest in getting your hair done. You invest in your tennis and your Jordans and all. Invest in an HR or talent manager that can help you, because even if you say, okay, well, this is my resume and it looks good, you give it to them, they may give you some tips and pointers as to, hey, no, maybe you should change this, maybe you should word this up, maybe this is too much information, maybe you should add some information to it. You understand what I'm saying? And I promise you that things are going to get better. But let's go. I want to get a little deeper. Let's talk about the fact that, yes, your back is against the wall and you notice that, hey, I've been once again sending these things out, nothing's happening. Use what's in your hand. Could it be that our Heavenly Father, for those obviously who understand and value biblical references, is telling you, hey, I may want you to do something on your own? Could it be that you could be a born entrepreneur.
That's very true.
Okay, use what's in your hands. You'll be surprised the things that you are capable of doing. What is it that you are so that you can do easily without even having to think? You could actually dream about it and it can come into fruition the next day. What use that talent, and that same talent that you have can create an income for you.
That's
All
right.
right. And even as you're doing it, because some people are kitchen beauticians,
That's
but
right.
like Ahmad said, YouTube has a very good
Yes.
educational foundation. Honestly, be laughing, but it's serious.
It's very
So
serious.
invest in, I could say, training, or not even invest because YouTube is free, but take some time throughout the day instead of watching Netflix all
It's
day,
still an investment,
and just go on YouTube and see how my sister, she does little makeup and stuff on the side. And the reason why she knew how to do it is because she went on YouTube and YouTube taught her how to do the light shadow and all that stuff. Girl, do that on the side, go make your money.
Mhm.
Do something to enhance yourself. You'll be surprised what you're capable of doing. And to the employers, can I ask you, the only way that people know, and this is something that my teacher said to me a couple years ago, people don't really care about what you know. They care about the fact that you hold on. They want to care about the fact that you care. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
They don't care about what you know. They're concerned about the fact that you care.
Mhm.
All right. So take the time. If you want to know if you're wondering why things are not doing or going well in your establishment, could it be that you're not pushing in or encouraging customer morale? You're not engaging with your clients the way they are, your employees, the way that you should. You're not asking them what's going on with them. You're not being empathetic towards them. And so here it is that they're suffering in silence, like one of the statements that we've been saying all day. And they're pushing out whatever they have within them. They're coming to work with the nobody's able to watch the kid, and this is happening and that is happening. Not saying that there's no excuse, but sometimes you have to be a little bit more lenient, a little bit more empathetic. Yes, a little bit more understanding towards their situation. Okay, well, maybe you need this day off. Let me see if I can find somebody else to do it. Try that. You'll be surprised how much when they see the fact that they know that you care, they're gonna put a little bit more
Pep in that stuff.
pep in their step to help represent your establishment. All right, show concern. Show a little bit concern, and if you feel as if you have you want to talk about it, you need somebody to talk to, you need help in coaching in the area of having to how do I do this? I feel stuck. I don't know how to do this. Once again, we have astute talent management and 4 wins here that are available, that are accessible. If you need coaching, you could reach out to Your Lane Talk Show, Coach Trish Hanna. You can go on my website, www.yourlanelifecoaching.com, if you need assistance in any of that area. So guess what we have up next right now? Listen, I had to put her on the show once again. She's been so patient with us. But this is Raquel Mintz. Raquel, welcome to Your Lane Talk Show. How are you doing?
I am doing well, patiently waiting, but I was just enjoying the show.
1 second. Boo. I could see the facial expression. The energy is right. There you go. Let's hear you, Raquel. What's up?
I am doing well. I was just here enjoying the show. Mr. Thompson, you just had me cracking right up in air.
I told you that 5%. That 5% prediction of laughter was there. They have it going on. Raquel, I had to put you on because you were doing something for teens. I think it's next week or so. Tell us about the date. Tell us about the time. Tell us what you're doing.
So I'm doing an event called Graced to Be Her for teen girls between the ages of 12 and 18. It's an event, it's an empowerment soiree for those teen girls. I do have a brand called Aim Her, a brand to affirm, inspire, and motivate women, girls, to be the best that they can be, to live in and on purpose.
Mhm.
And I encourage girls to live unapologetically, to be unapologetically themselves, to live who they were meant and called to be. And last year, at the same time, National Daughters Day is celebrated on the 25th. So last year I did something with little girls and presenting them crowns to let them know that there was a princess inside of them. And this year it just so happened that earlier, within the last 2 months ago, I was one of the judges for Miss Bahamas Teen. And then the idea, I was like, okay, what am I going to do this year for National Daughters Day? And it just so happened that idea came to me to do it with teen girls because these girls now hold a crown. So I'm actually, it was almost like this is like a graduation from the little girls with giving them a crown, so letting them know that there's a princess inside of them. And this year is now I am hosting Miss Bahamas Teen Tamoya Walton and her first and second runner-ups. So we're hosting them in a panel discussion and just letting them know or letting them allowing them to let the world know that we are all been graced for the crown. We all been graced, to be who we were called to be. And that's just where the idea came about. So it's the 24th of this month.
Yes.
The time may vary. I'm still working on the location because the location had to change, but it's the 24th of September.
Okay.
Nice.
And what are the prices? Is there a price for the tickets?
The investment into it is $25 for each person that wants to attend.
That's a good investment.
Mhm.
$25
It
for
is.
what she's doing.
Yes,
I think that
so
is
important.
wonderful.
So important.
It's very good.
So where can persons obtain the tickets? Where can they purchase?
So I have a link on Eventbrite. I can forward to you that you can post on your page, but you're able to reach out to me on any social media outlet, Raquel Mintz on Facebook, Cal Mintz on Instagram, or aim her on IG as well. You're able to reach out
Say
to
it
me.
slowly so that my producer can put it
I'm
in.
sorry, on
Type
Facebook.
it in. Type it in for me. He said.
Okay,
Type it
no
in the
problem.
chat.
So I'll type it in. So it's Raquel Mintz on Facebook, Cal Mintz on IG, or aim her on IG as well. I'll be able to send the link for the Eventbrite invitation. Thereafter, you will be able to contact me for payment, or I can pick up however it works. But persons have been sponsoring young girls, and I'm so grateful to see it because, this is an era where, like Mr. Thompson was saying, we still putting Pookie them on stuff, and they ain't really, So it's just a matter of training and teaching,
Yeah.
our young ladies what to do, how to present yourselves, and it's not just a matter because we have this saying as millennials where it's, oh, YOLO, you only live once, and that living once, they living this hard life. Like, come on. So you only live once, and it's a representation of you. So it's pretty much teaching them that, yes, you only live once. However, the life you live, you can't take back. A lot of
Right.
times God forgives you for the things that you've done in the past. But however, sometimes people take years to bounce back from a past that they regret. And like y'all were talking earlier about the tattoos and stuff, you lived your life at 18, you ball out everything, and you have this tattoo across your chest. And when you get married now, you regret, I even put this here. But it's a
Because you
matter
have
of
George on the chest and your husband named him.
What a time.
okay.
So that's the
Okay.
problem right
What a
there.
time.
So we have persons like making silly choices. I mean, it's the life you've lived, but however, your life is telling a story. And while some of the pages we don't want to look back on, that's the story. Some persons 10 years into your life, they still remember. And not that should mark you by that story. However, it was your life. You only have what the soap opera was, one life to live, one life to
Raquel,
live.
what you know about one life to
I
live?
didn't watch any of them. I don't watch them, but that's just it. So this year is pretty much holding the teen girls, and like I said, these girls who already hold crowns, who already hold national crowns for the Bahamas, and just letting them, just talking a bit with them and empowering other girls to let them know, hey, you may not have a physical crown, you may not have something to hold on your head, but you're graced to be her. No matter what you see, no matter the situations you face, no matter the environment you've grown up in, you have been graced. Whatever situation you find yourself in, sometimes we feel as if, oh God, Jesus, I can't handle this. And we always have the expression, the Bible would say, oh, he'll never put more on you than you can bear. And it's not until you've been tried that you realize you've been graced. And it's not until sometimes we go through a situation and we realize, hey, I got out of that. But when you meet that head on, you be like, Jesus, how I can get through this. And then 3-4 weeks later, you realize like, oh wow, I'm out of it, because you were graced for it. As much and as heavy as you thought that would have been, as detrimental as you thought, as this could take me out, and you realize I could talk about it, I lived through it. Sometimes it's not really, it's moving through the process, and then you're looking back and saying, thank you, I made it out. So it's just an event to empower young women, young girls, teen girls this year. Next year, I don't know what's going to be, but this year is empowering those teen girls to let them know that, hey, you've been graced. Because some girls, I'm a little up in age, but some girls, they done had a whole life and a half
Of course, I've heard
at
some.
12, at
Yeah,
13, at
I've been
14.
through a lot.
But just to let them know you've been graced for the journey. Some hands we've been dealt. Some hands we deal ourselves and we give ourselves the joker.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just have to work with the hand that you've been dealt and say, you know what, I gonna play this the best I can.
do the best I can.
I
I
had
like
no
that.
choice in this. I had no choice in this.
Listen, you see why?
Awesome.
You
Yeah.
see why?
Very
Yes.
good.
It's
So
things like this.
inspired.
I think this is
So
so
inspired.
inspirational. I love the
Yes.
fact that she's doing this and she was
Yeah.
graced to do this.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right, to help other teenagers. Listen, parents, moms, you're listening, you're tuning in. I would advise that you get your teen daughters be a part of this movement that Raquel is doing. I promise you that if your child goes into this program, they will not come out the same. Their mindsets will be changed. I promise you. And we have a lot. In fact, here's what I want to do. I want to, because we're running out of time, text this number 376-8689, 376-8689. I want to bless two teenagers with tickets to this Aim Her event that Raquel is having. Two teenagers. So parents, you need to WhatsApp me now, 376-8689. We have to
Yes.
get these teens involved with this because everyone's complaining. Oh, when you see them, we had a police officer on one of I think the second show that we had, and one of the statements she made was normally when you see the teenage girls, normally not all the time, when you see the teenage girls on
Same person.
the missing persons, you know where they are.
Mhm.
And sometimes we assume that yes, that's exactly what's happening. They went out, but there are cases it's because they are being abused at home
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's
So
obvious, yeah.
right, so there are different places, and
Man.
sometimes they want to go where they feel as if they're loved. We need to bring them back in.
Yes.
Give me four tickets instead of two. Let's get four.
I was going to say the same thing. I'll do 4 as well.
Oh
I
Jesus!
won't be in town on that weekend.
When is this?
It's September 24th, she said.
What September what?
September 24th. It's
September
Saturday.
24th. So we got 8 tickets.
Yes.
You
We
got
got-
12.
But shit!
Oh.
Put the mute on. They know I
We
can
got
prophecy. We got 12. What I saying? 12
12
tickets. 12
12
tickets.
tickets.
376-8689. 376-8689. Text me, and guess what? Even if you don't text now, Raquel, we're gonna give you whatever we don't
Yes.
get, and you find the teenagers that are unable to afford it at this time,
Yes.
so that they can be a part of your movement. Please.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank
needed. And I know that God is going to make a way. Yes, I said God. This is my show. I can
Indeed.
say it. All right. To make
You have the
sure
right
that
to
you
be
get the location that you need for these teenagers to thrive. And I wish you the best. I pray
Thank
that
you.
all goes well for you and what you're doing. And may your hands be blessed in every single thing that you do in your endeavors. Thank you so much for tuning
Thank
in.
you too.
God bless you.
Thank you all.
You're very welcome.
Bless
Very
you.
welcome.
So 12
Oh.
tickets now. If you know that you have a teenager, guess what? This ain't just for the delinquent. This ain't just for people who doing
No.
bad things. You want to ensure that your daughter is excelling and enhancing in her growth and exposure and networking.
That's right.
Meeting friends, etc. So 376-8689. Text me. I see it. I see some. So that we can get you a ticket to go to this Aim Her event. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to us, and thank you so much for coming here. You have a wealth, y'all together. I feel rich, wealth of information. I know that persons who were tuning in today were impacted, they were empowered, they were educated, they were just ready to go and do what they have to do tomorrow.
That's right.
Tomorrow.
Today. Don't
Make
wait
it
till
happen
Today.
tonight.
Start the
Today,
season
Right
the
now.
mindset changed
Yeah.
today. And so I thank you, Ahmad. I thank you so much, Tameka. I thank you, Lacretia, for being a part of this show. Thank you so much for helping us. Today's show is brought to you by Airborne Freight and Cargo Services, John Shoe Store and Accessories, Family Medicine Center, Calico Bay, where the cool kids shop, Astute Talent Management. I am so grateful. Guess what? Did we get the second? Did we get the second
We
person?
didn't.
No.
We got a second
Did anyone
call.
call it? No.
No.
Okay, so we didn't. Okay, sorry. So we got a first caller, but we didn't get the second caller. All right, but that's okay because we can find a way to get
Yes.
y'all to make sure y'all get this.
I
Next
won't
week, we
rescind
will
my
have
offer.
on our show 3 entrepreneurs from 3 distinct businesses share their journey along with pros and cons of being a business owner. They will also be sharing tips on how to keep your business relevant and so much more. So you definitely want to tune in next week for that. A special thank you once again to my guests. A special thank you to my producer who's taking Tony's place today. Someone said Tony half of the things what Beats doing Tony will never do. But that's okay because I love both of them. They mean well and they mean me well. And so I thank you so much. Thank you for those who were tuning in for the first time. Thank you to Mrs. Thompson, Ahmad's mom. Priceless. All right. All right. To our first time listeners, thank you so much. And our continued listening audience, our Facebook listening audience, thank you so much. God bless you. I pray that you are empowered, educated, encouraged today. Until next time, God bless you. Have a beautiful Sunday.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, Trish.
Thanks, Trish.
All right.
Very good, ladies.
Very
It was
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It's good.
Thank you so much.
You know, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the question is, are the people who need to be, wow, who need to receive it,
So
are they
what's
receiving
coming
it?
in for
Don't worry, we can.
Exactly, man.
When
See, that's
Raquel,
the
thank you
thing.
so much
Yeah.
for tuning in.
Thank you too.
Tickets, honey. I can send you this information.
Okay.
Can she send bank account information?
Yeah, so
Can
we get
you-
to transfer the
maybe
money.
Yeah.
I'll just
Just
transfer.
Can we
transfer
get-
the
yes,
amount,
can we-
the value.
I'll WhatsApp me, Trish, and I'll send it because I have it all in a WhatsApp message.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. That's
I'll make sure to
exactly
do that.
Yeah, make it
for you,
easier.
You know?
All right.
No.
What?
I
Listen,
still
let me tell you
That's
something.
it now.
Let me
That's
tell you
it.
something
Yeah.
cracking
If I
up
can't
on
transfer
this.
you,
That's
I
it.
can't do it. I can't do
No,
business with
because
you.
they're
I can remember
Nah,
last
nah, nah, nah.
every time I went back to
So
the bank
everything
was
that we do, we
new
just
card.
got
Okay?
one time.
Yeah.
We just give it to her and then she could get to the
Yeah,
Yeah.
she could do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
she
All
could
right.
get that.
You be responsible for that, Raquel.
Yes.
That's one less
No
job.
problem.
Yeah.
All right.
No problem.
What I'm gonna do is, once this is done, I'm gonna download the information, put it on YouTube, and send it to y'all so y'all
Absolutely.
can watch it.
Okay.
Well, it's on Facebook anyway, but
Mhm.
just YouTube might be easier
Okay.
and more
Mhm.
convenient,
Share
and
it
you can
with
share it out. and do
Absolutely.
whatever.
Awesome.
Great, man.
Oh,
Thank
We
you
need
very
a
much,
part
Trish. I agree with you.
But
Yeah.
next time,
To
we
Tameka's
lot.
point, this conversation could go on for years.
Yeah.
Literally
Right.
years.
Honestly.
Let me tell you what concerns me the most
Yeah.
as an employer.
Are we on Facebook? We're still. Can we go off Facebook because we don't want to make us say
Yeah,
anything?
that
Do we need to
idea.
say anything? Or
No,
should
we'll
we?
incriminate ourselves.
Yes. Please.
Yeah.
God bless you, our Facebook audience. Blessings to you.
Yes, thank you so much.
I can't hear the
Yes.
fire.